Hello, guys, and welcome back to the third part of cosmetics. So we did a first part, then we did some questions, which Alan did very well answering, as it's not his subject. He tried his best. And now we will continue and we will do some vocabulary and we will do some reading. So, Alan, can you start to read the first part, please?
Right, okay.
Cosmetics.
Cosmetics makeup. Kohl, a powder made of an antimony sulfide, which the chemical symbol is Sb2S3, used around the eyes. Chalk, a soft white limestone composed mostly of the shells of small marine organisms. Henna, a red or orange dye made from the henna plant. Renaissance, the 1300s through 1500s in Europe, when great artistic and scientific achievements were made.
Right, Nieves, can you be so kind as continue?
Yes, lead, a soft metal PV. Belladonna, a poisonous plant with black berries. Nerve, the part of the body that passes information to the brain. Pupil, the hole in the middle of the eye that can become smaller or larger. Dye, a liquid for coloring. Wig, an artificial covering for the head that looks like hair.
Right, so these words will appear in our reading, which is going to come next. Now, some of our viewers may say, well, pupils, I've heard that about the classroom. So we could have students who are pupils. So the word has two or more meanings. And in this sense, it's related to the eye. We are doing the context of the eye. So it's the small black part that goes bigger, it dilates, or it goes smaller. And all the other things that have been mentioned are the products people used to use when they used to use makeup before we had the big cosmetic companies. So Annie, would you be so kind as to start? Off you go.
Cosmetics have been used throughout history. The ancient Greeks, the Egyptians, and the Romans all used various kinds of makeup. Some of these cosmetics were used to improve one's appearance. Others were used to protect one's skin. However, in some cases, things used for makeup were dangerous or even deadly. Skincare treatments, including perfumes, lotions, and cosmetics, marks were used in ancient Egypt by rich and poor alike. Egyptians also developed some of the earliest sunscreens. They used oil and creams for protection against the sun and dry winds. Egyptians, as well as other ancient cultures, used various powders on their skin for beauty as well. Egyptians used black coal around their eyes. Romans put white chalk on their faces, and Indians painted red henna on their bodies.
Right. So it depends how far back you go in history. You will see different natural products used to paint the face or the body. And depending what the objective was, which ones they used. For example, some products were used to protect them from the sun. So I think you can see in Africa some very rural tribes, they paint their body with mud. Mud is earth and water together, maybe some henna as well, and they cover the whole of their body in this mud that they make to protect themselves from the sun. And I think they are beautiful as well. Also, in the times in England and in France of Queen Elizabeth I, she used to paint her face white. and this was very dangerous because of the product. So it's quite an interesting subject if you like history and you like to find out about things from the past. Right then, Alan, there is a little question here, if you can answer it. What is the main idea of this reading? Is it A, B, C, or D?
So there's the angels. I would think C, to ensure that you're not using a product that is dangerous, I would think.
Right, so I agree with you. Sometimes when you do an A, B, C, or D, there are two which are very similar and two that are nothing to do with what they should be. So, Alan, it's your turn to read now, please.
Most of the ancient cosmetics were harmless. However, in the name of beauty, some people applied dangerous chemicals and poisons to their skin. During the Italian Renaissance, women wore white powder made of lead on their faces. Of course, doctors today know lead is like a poison for our bodies. Also, around the time of the Renaissance, women in Italy put drops of belladonna in their eyes. These belladonna drops were made from a plant whose poison affects the nerves in the body. By putting belladonna drops in her eyes, a woman's pupils would become very large. People thought this made women more beautiful. Actually, this is where the plant's name comes from. In Italy, in Italian, belladonna means beautiful women. Oops.
It's come back.
When Elizabeth I was queen in the late 1500s, some rather dangerous cosmetics were also used by women in England. In particular, women were using special hair dye made with lead and sulfur. The dye was designed to give people red hair, the same color as the Queen's hair. But over time, the dye made people's hair fall out. Finally, women using this dye ended up bald, like the Queen, and had to wear wigs.
So Elizabeth I, I think she wore wigs in the end.
Really?
Because her hair fell out. Right? Now, I don't know, Alan, I don't know if you can help us, but sulfur, I thought that burns. If you say sulfur to me, I thought it was like a chemical that burns your skin or burns your hair. Have you ever heard of sulfur before?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about the chemistry side of these products or ingredients. I know that lead has always been known as a poisonous because I worked with lead for many years and had to be very careful with hygiene.
But sulfur, it sounds to me, we could Google it, but it sounds to me that it's a product for burning something. So maybe this is why it was so dangerous. Okay. Yeah. Right. Nieves, if you could be so kind to try and answer these questions. Off you go.
Where did Italian women apply lead powder? In their hair, B, on their hands, C, on their faces, D, under their arms. I think it's on the C, on their faces.
Right, so there it is there. There's the answer. Right, okay. The next one.
What was belladonna used for? A, to give women pretty eyes. B, to change the color of women's skin. C, to poison plants. D, to make people look smarter. Is A, to give women pretty eyes.
Right. And the next one?
What is the meaning of rather, as it is used in line 20? A, normally. B, on the contrary. C, prefer. And D, fairly. I think is
So the word is here. Some rather dangerous cosmetics.
I think it's on the contrary, yeah?
No, I think it's fairly. Some fairly to give emphasis to how
To give-
dangerous this is.
It was.
Okay, so that was a bit complicated, but we got through it. Right then, Annie, can you read this vocabulary and their meaning, please?
Sorry, I forgot. In some cases, the medicine made people's hair fall out. People's hair fall out. In the name of, for the explorer claimed the island in the name of his country, end up to finally become. She started her own company and ended up a millionaire.
Right, so those three groups of words you need to put into the sentences below.
Teachers found students did better on longer exam. Oh, okay. In some cases, oh no, not in some. End up.
Donna was right the first time.
What is it? Or in some cases, right?
Yeah, read it.
In some cases, teacher found students did better on longer exams. How is it?
Right, number 2.
Let's follow the map. Oh, we may in the same of loss, in the name of loss.
No, end up. Read it with end up.
Oh my God. Let's follow the map. Oh, we may end up lost. Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank
the
you.
other one only. Yes.
And the
And we
last
must
one.
keep fighting. We must keep fighting in the name of freedom. Oh my goodness, I was lost.
Well, Annie, anyone can have a day like this. It's no problem. Now, Alan, I'm going to ask a favor. Could you think of another sentence using in the name of? In the name of. Can you invent another sentence? Nieves, you can do in some cases, and Annie can do end up in a minute. So using in the name of, can you think of a sentence, Alan, please?
Oh gosh.
I will help you. In the name of the Queen, we will have a holiday on Tuesday.
Oh, I see. Yes, of course. Yes, in the name of the King. We did have a holiday on the day of the funeral. Yes, of course. I can't think of something off the top of my head.
No, it's a difficult one, Alan. This is why
I'll tell you one. I'm not a religious person, but in the name of God, we must all love one another.
Right. So I gave that to Alan because I know it was a difficult one and I thought he might do it a little bit better. Right, Nieves, yours.
Okay. Cosmetics are good for your skin, but in some cases it can hurt your eyes, for example.
Yeah, very good.
Harm is a better word. H-A-R-M. So I understood you perfectly, but I think harm your eyes would be better.
Okay.
Right. And Annie, what about you?
What is it? End up. I think you have to take your breakfast earlier. Otherwise, you will end up starving in the middle of the day.
Okay, we will end up. I don't think so somehow, but who knows? Right then, everybody, we are going to say
Toodaloo. Toodaloo.